Hey gang, welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. Today's video is a tool review video. Now I have done a variety of reviews on various tools on this channel and my other channel, which is Joe Daddy's Workshop. On the other channel I have done stuff more along the lines of lawnmowers and weed eaters and chainsaws and stuff like that. However, this company, Evolution Power Tools, has sent me 3 different things in the past. Technically 4, but 3 that I've used so far. The first is the multi-saw. Now, this is what we would say is a sawzall. That's a trade name. This thing is very handy. I've used it many times and I'm very happy with it. The second is a cordless vacuum cleaner. Now this is like a shop vac where you can vacuum up water, debris, whatever, and it's battery operated. So this has been very handy as well. So here's the third tool that they had sent me. I think they may have sent me this one first and the other 2. I don't know what the order was, but listen, let me tell you about this one. This is their 14-inch chop saw. And this is your standard straight chop saw, right? If you want to make any adjustments, you have to change the fence on the back, have to loosen up the handle here and rotate it and get the degree that you want. And then the piece that clamps it down, this will pivot as well to adjust for that angle. And this thing is a beast. Like I said, 14-inch, has a guard on the side. There's their company name on the side of the tool. And you can see I've used this quite a bit. There's a variety of things laying here that are remnants of stuff that I cut off. And there's some 2-inch square tubing. Here's an angled piece that I cut. And you can see how nice and clean that cuts. This thing is incredible compared to a fiber wheel cut saw. But it has its limitations, and I love it. I do. But there's times where I don't like to use this saw, particularly because for me to use this, I have to pull it out here in the middle of my shop area, and if I have any kind of length that I want to cut, I run into problems. So I've got a cabinet over here, I have to make adjustments, or if I want to angle this, it's a lot of work to get that thing at the right angle. But overall, if you're doing straight up chops, straight line cuts all day long, this thing kills it. So, what did they send me now? So, this is what they sent me. I know the picture doesn't do it justice. 14-inch metal cutting mitering chop saw with TCT blade. Now, this thing is a whole new animal, in my opinion. It gives us the capability to angle our cuts. It says here, you made the right choice, 3-year warranty, unlikely to need repair, will typically fix your tool within 2 days of us receiving it, 5-star customer service team, and give us a call, 866-EVO tool. Alright, so I'm going to unbox this and we're going to get a look at what's in the box and then put this thing together. So as I mentioned earlier, it says it comes with a TCT blade. Now, I'm not exactly sure what TCT stands for, but it has the ultimate cutting technology. This will cut steel, suitable for 14-inch chop saws, designed specifically to cut steel. 66 teeth, high-grade carbide, hardened blade body, ensures the blade runs truer for longer. So this has a 1-inch bore. The kerf is 0.094 inches and 66 teeth. Now, they sent me this, but they also sent me another one. So they also sent me, well, it's actually the same blade. And this may be a replacement for the other one that I have been using. Maybe they figured I might have worn that one out or worn it down some, but that thing is still cutting great. So this is going to go in storage. Okay, so they give us this sheet here. It says figure 27 on it, and it is showing you some parameters here. Now we'll have to figure out what all that means. It's showing these dots on the back of these bars. There's 3 different holes in the bars, and so it's coming down and showing you these configurations. So This is showing a piece of bar stock. That's a piece of angle iron. It's got an X and an X check mark on a piece of, let's say, 2x4 square tubing, and an X on this one, 2x2 at an angle. So the second dot, it's showing an X on the bar stock, a check mark on the angle iron upside down, an X on the 2x4 tubing, and a check mark on the angled, or 2x2, let's say, up on its corner. And then the third one has a check mark on bar stock, an X on the angle iron, an X on the 2x4, and an X on the triangulated piece, or the angled piece. So we'll have to figure out what that means exactly. I'm sure it's a warning, because there's probably, as we all know, a right and a wrong way to do these things. So here's the book. I'm not going to go over everything, but it is showing the assembly process, various pieces that interact and how they work. Again, I'm not going to go over all these steps and try to demonstrate everything, but I will show you as I put it together. Some specifications, the machine overview, what each part is called based on this number system. Same thing over here. How to transport the saw, assembly, removing or installing a blade. Whole bunch of information here. And we all know, here's an important one. I'm going to point this out because I injured my eye 2-3 weeks ago. PPE, the operator should wear all relevant PPE, personal protective equipment necessary for the task. This could include safety glasses, dust masks, safety shoes, etc. And I had safety glasses on, but I managed to get a piece of metal in my eye, which took me out for a couple weeks. Okay, so I'm going to go through the process of putting this together, and we'll see how it turns out. So, it appears we've got an Allen wrench, different size ends on it, and a little storage area for that, so that's handy. We've got these attachment points back here. We have the pivot, and it's got a thumb lock, so you can place that. It's got stops or detents at various points. In this case, I'm at 0. Come to my right, it's got one at 5. I'm sorry, it's got one at 15 degrees and one at 22.5. Another stop at 30. And another stop at 45. So you can see the increments here: 45, 30, 22.5, 15, and 0. And of course, you look at that and you go, "Oh, the 0 is no. This is where this locks." So that's what you have. That's what you have as your reference. All right, because the little arrow is offset over here on the right. Okay, and this is your lockdown handle. Hopefully, you can see that okay. Now, here are some of the pieces that were in the box. This, it should line up with these, and it's got some threads in the back. The pipes have threaded holes in them, so we're gonna safely say that goes to the back. Set that here. Now this appears to be a clamp, so I'm sure there's going to be more information on that. It looks like I'll have to look it up. I don't see. Oh wait, maybe it's up here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so what this has, and it's a little, throws me off, it's got some knurling here on the handle. And that, I'm going to assume, you know how that is, helps it stay in its spot, right? When you put friction on something like that, it stays. So we've got a height adjustment over here for that part of it. And we also have an adjustment here, threads up and down, so you can pivot that around. That's pretty cool. I like that. Oh, that's got some sort of, oh, it's a quick release. Hey, look at that. That's cool. Quick release so you can adjust it where you need it. I like that. Okay, it looks like there's probably some more of these, so we'll move forward. This main head unit is pretty heavy. And on the back here we have the two guides and these looks like, I'm going to assume, okay, so there's a lock holding that apart right there. Like if I take that out, that's going to let that slide in. So that's for quick assembly or disassembly. So if you want to move something, you can take this, slide that pin out, put that lock in place, and it keeps it from moving. Okay. And it's a little bit awkward to hold this. Now this one, I'm not sure. It looks like it's similar, but we'll have to look up, see exactly what that does. A little bit different. Okay, I'm going to put this on as best I can. Okay. I figured out this other one on the other side. I'll show you in just a second. That's a cam lock, like just a pin. When you rotate it, it holds it from moving back and forth. Let me show you that real quick. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. This lets that move. Wow, that rolls super easy. I'm glad I had a hand on that, because that just, it wanted to roll right off. And then you have this, take this off, and that locks it in, and this locks it in the secondary. Oh, that's cool. Nice design. It's got to have rollers in there, because that moves so freely. All right, don't lose this piece. And then, as I said before, this is going to go on the back. So I'm a little worried that I've got it. Okay, it's not going to tilt. I don't want to have too much weight holding it, you know, wanting to pull back over. So I don't know that they make, I understand they make a stand for these, but I'm using my little welding table, and if I need to, I can put some clamps on this to hold it down. Alright, I'm going to take the rest of the stuff out of the box so we can see what came with it. Appears to be another clamp, so I'll have to figure out where that goes. We've got 3 of these, which appear to be something that you can use to support a piece of pipe or bar stock or something like that if you want to hold it. We'll look more at that in just a second. I've got this little bag of parts. Inside of there is kind of a wing nut looking thing. Another one of those, and these 2 here, which I will assume they go to that blue piece in the back. So it would appear, this would make sense, that those go there. And not only that, the little Allen wrench handle fits pretty close to that. If that's not where they go, that's where they go now. Okay, this is our second clamping device. Then we have this. And by the looks of it, it's going to line up there and maybe even go like this. So I'll have to kind of look at that just a minute. It appears, based on this shape, that this is a bar, a slide bar, for the clamps. So we have this kind of a mouth looking piece, and I'm going to slide that on top of that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's cool. Put one on the other side. So you have 2 forward clamps that will keep, let's say you have a long piece or a piece that you want to cut and not have them move. So you have one locked in and the other locked in. You can cut it, and this will keep both pieces stationary. That's pretty cool. This as I mentioned. Looks like it's for angles and maybe holding a piece of pipe or something. This will fit on the end of this. Gotta hold still because it's gonna pivot, but it'll slide onto that. And I think, oh look, it's got like little detents here. I don't think they're magnets. I think they're just little ball detents to help keep it in place. That's cool. Oh man, this thing. Amazing. Amazing. And the third one, same thing. Tilt up just a little bit so you can see better. This one that pivots, and it can go in different places, I should point out. So I've got it in the first spot, there's a second spot, third spot. And that will just, yeah, that'll clear. So you can also use this, the third one goes here. So you can pivot this around, clamp something down with that. Ooh. You can have it in multiple pieces clamped in, holding everything in place. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Okay. What I want to do, that takes care of everything that was in the box. Other than the two, other than the two blue wing nut things. So I have to figure out where those go. So there's the two bolts in the back that hold the plate to the back piece. Oh, there they go. Ah, check that out. Okay, so there's the little wing nuts. I say wing nuts. If you look, okay, let me angle this down so you can see what I'm talking about. So what I noticed this, but I didn't think much of it. This plate is height adjustable too. So I can pull this up and down or slide it up and down, but it's not going to stay unless I put this little jam nut in there, or wing nut. And I probably should have done that first. So let me just take that back off. Ah, okay. It's got a little, it's got these ribs cut into this, and it looks like there's a groove here that limits it going up, or at least it should. So I'm going to thread this in, put the one on the other side, drop these in. Okay, so you can anchor this in, figure out what height you need it at, and lock it in. Put these back on. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's get this blade on here. Now it shows you the direction of rotation here, and I think it would help to know that you wouldn't put this on with the logo on the back side. So look where the logo is and go with it. So behind this chip guard, there's a button, and that is your lock. So when you want to take the blade off, push that in, and it locks it, keeps it from moving. Take that off. Okay, so it's got an inner and an outer carrier piece or holder, and I don't see Yeah, it's just, okay, so it's got a recess area inside of here. I would leave it just like they have it. Put that on. Be careful with the blade. See if I can get it in without having to cut this off yet. Blade on. Again, I have the cup shape going in. Bolt and outer washer. And I'm going to again push the detent button that's on the other side and lock this down. There we go. Put the Allen wrench back in this little carrier. Don't want to lose that. And then, oh, there we go. I wasn't sure if I could get that off without taking loose or cutting this zip tie. So I try to hold on to them. All right, let's see if that works. It does. Fantastic. Okay, something else I want to show you on the other side. Now I'm sure this is some sort of safety device. There's a pin right here. Okay, I want to show you this. I talked about this pin right here and what's it for. Well, I saw this little cutout area, and you know what that pin's for? That pin's for locking it down. Now you know. Great design. One more thing. Got ahead of myself. See this little cover right here? That's going to lock in. And take your Allen wrench and snug that down. Now the only thing that I'm concerned at all with, and I say at this point, is this little stop piece. Whether I really need it, I don't think so. I think it was part of the shipping, and that was what was used to hold the little blue pin in the back. And I don't see any reason to keep that. It just doesn't matter. So I'll put that in the box. Okay, we're going to see what it can do. Now, I will tell you that I'm taking precautions. So I am putting on my face shield, and you'll probably see me wear this more often. I can't say you should or shouldn't put safety glasses on behind this, but it's unlikely that you should have anything get past this. Also, I have on hearing protection. So I'm going to make a few cuts with this saw, and I'm going to demonstrate angles and what you can do with it. So let's see how this goes. The first thing I want to show you is this piece of tubing here, piece of steel, right? And all I'm going to do is put it on the saw and just make a straight cut. I'm going to cut off this end here. Point of reference, this was part of a roll bar in a small mini stock car. So, you know, this clamp, as we demonstrated previously, has these attachments. I took it off just to mess around a little bit, but I'm going to take this clamp and put it on here and clamp against that. Now, this piece of pipe is messed up because it's compressed on the end, so it distorts the shape of it. What I could do, you know what? This is a perfect demonstration. This is a perfect demonstration. Because the problem I have is this is out of shape, right? So I could take this and I could move it. I could put this one underneath I can put that one underneath and bring this one underneath or on top. Yeah, let me reconfigure this a little bit. This is a great idea. So I turn that over, and this side I can do the same thing. Slide it down, but I need to raise this up a little bit. I did set this back down, so I'm going to raise it up a couple clicks. Lock that back in. Yeah. So what that'll do is it eliminates that angle, like that deformation. I can take this over to this side, set that there, bring this forward, lock that in, bring that forward, and lock that in. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, I like it. Now, the only question I have, because I want to make sure we follow these guidelines, okay? So this is showing, in this case, a piece of round stock, which I call bar stock, but it's also in the third hole. So I'm going to slide this back to the third hole on the track and lock that in. That's locked in. Now I just want to see what that looks like. So bring this forward. Okay. So that cuts on the back side of the saw blade, let's say. Whereas if I had this all the way in, it's cutting kind of in the middle. So yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot, okay? I'm gonna put my hearing protection on. Face shield. Let's see what happens. Like butter. That was, you know, I didn't even plan to do that because of, I mean, I was just trying to cut that off. But that's a great example of what you can do with this thing. I'm glad I noticed that. Okay. So now that we have that out of the way, we're going to try something else. And what I want to do is angle this, and I'm going to go to 45. I just want to see what happens. There's 45. It's locked in. All I want to do is cut this pipe off. So I'm going to turn this plate over so that that piece is down instead of up. Bring that forward, clamp that in. Same way here, I'm going to turn this one around because you can get that height difference. Slide that over, lock that in. And I should point out, just so you know, up on the trigger there's a safety switch here. You have to push this over and able to pull or compress this to make it operate. So nice feature. Look at that. Look at that cut. That's fantastic. Now what I was trying to do was make enough of this piece to put the two together to demonstrate a 90-degree, and I can't say I could get it much closer than that. Look at that. That's fantastic. Yes. Oh, I love this already. Okay, so now I'm going to cut just a bigger piece of tubing. Go back to my 0 setting. And we're going to look at the information sheet. And it says for square tubing, I want to be in the first hole. There's square tubing, first hole. And that is showing it laying flat, like this. So not upright, first hole. So I will take loose the handle in the back, pull the pin, lock it back in place. Same thing here, I can put this clamps on either side. I'm just going to cut a short piece off. I don't want to, even though it's a rusty piece, I'm not wasting my metal for no reason. I'm going to come in with the clamp. And of course, I'm going to double check. Again, square tubing, first hole. Love it. Love it. That's fantastic. There you go. All right. I think this tool is awesome. As I mentioned before, Evolution has given me the other chop saw and this miter chop saw now, and both of them are incredible. They're not cheap. I'll just tell you that up front. You know, you can spend a lot less, say, at Harbor Freight or something like that, but you kind of get what you pay for. This tool, I think it retails somewhere around 850 bucks. That comes with the blade, from what I understand. But man, what a machine. You know, I'm looking at these cuts, and I'm just so impressed. I really am. Who can complain about that? Now, this is way better than any fiber saw that I've ever used, and if you are interested in buying one of these, there are links in the description below. I will link you to Evolution Power Tools themselves, and also I have a discount available if you're interested in buying one of these or one of the other products that they offer. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope to have some more videos out soon. I'm taking a vacation, and I'll be gone for a week or so, so I'm not going to be too interested in posting at that point. But thanks for being here, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Oh, on a side note, my eye, I think, is 100%.